It was the corrugated box case that put him on the front pages of the legal press. Depending on whether you were motivated by envy or fear or admiration, you admired the ability to relate to the jury, the entrepreneurial approach to practicing law.
What my dad revolutionized was that the commercial litigation world, the way in which it is financed and the economics of it are totally different.
To him, hourly billing was being paid for effort, and it created all the wrong incentives.
It was pushing on the client side for success-based fee arrangements, and where you weren't going to get paid unless you achieved something good.
He felt that by generating a great result, he should get an enormous fee. The contingent fee and Stephen D. Susman was a marriage made in heaven. I think that in some ways, Texas Law Review had a profound influence on the way Steve Susman designed our law firm.
He was trying to build something from nothing. He had very high ambitions in terms of the hiring standards.
What Steve's model at the law firm became was to hire the very smartest young lawyers that he could. In the early days, it was populated almost completely with editors from the Texas Law Review, and then give them responsibility for things that they had virtually no experience or know-how in doing, expect them to figure it out, and then let them go out and compete in the courtroom against lawyers who had been practicing law for 10 or 20 or 30 years. Kind of the same model.
Steve had two qualities that made him, in my mind, incredibly effective as a lawyer. One was an ability to frame the issues, so he could drill down. And the second thing he had the ability to do was not only to identify what mattered, but to tell the story about why.
He wanted to teach us all to litigate aggressively, but very efficiently, not to spend time bickering with opposing counsel over things that didn't matter to the outcome of the case, and then to pay people based on merit. And that's the kind of culture that he taught.
When my dad started practicing law, there were robust jury trials. And his concern was that over the years, it became what was referred to as a vanishing jury trial.
He spent a tremendous amount of time using his big Steve Susman brain, thinking of creative ways to make jury trials more effective, more successful, more interesting for jurors.
But let me segue to the subject of juries and jury trials. The average judge in this country, state or federal, tries less than 4 cases to a jury a year. And only 1 case is a bench trial.
Steve loved to pull a good practical joke. Once in the early 1970s, he and some Fulbright colleagues hired a local bartender to interview for an associate position at the firm. The fake resume listed the Colorado School of Mines Law School. That doesn't exist. And a law review article called Riparian Rights versus the Open Mine Doctrine, a Dilemma. Late in the day of the interview, word circulated that the employment committee was sitting on the fence, so Steve's group countered with a rumor that the guy had an offer from Vincent Elkins. That did the trick. One of Steve's colleagues allegedly taped a conversation in which a partner said, "I thought that guy was a turkey, but he'll fit in fine with the department." That tape appears lost to posterity. If, however, anyone knows where a copy exists, please contact me or Scott Atlas.
He came across sometimes as gruff or tough, but he was the kindest, most generous person in the world.
He literally helped transform the physical plant of the school. In 2009, he donated $5 million to the school, still the second largest single gift in the school's history. This was the lead gift to fund the Susman Academic Center. He and his partners paid to modernize and beautify the law school's atrium. turning it into a dramatic entry point to the law school. His firm, in proportion to its size, has hired more TLR editors than any other law firm anywhere. Along with Dean Green and Dean Keaton, no one helped TLR succeed more than Steve did. He started the Texas Law Review Alumni Association, the TLRA. He started this annual banquet 57 years ago. He served on a 3-member committee that conceived the process that secured TLR's independence and financial success to date. He urged his law firm to support TLR financially. The firm for years has been one of TLR's largest donors. TLR would be a different and much less successful organization if Steve hadn't provided his consistent, enthusiastic, and generous support. We will miss him.
It's great that the Law Review is remembering Steve and honoring him as one of its most legendary members, but it's bittersweet because it just underscores how much we miss that he's not here, not paying attention to the speeches, laughing too loud during quiet moments, asking the waiter to bring him some more wine and quickly, and planning where he's going to take everybody for a late dinner after this thing finally ends.